tonight, a special report. Right now, the governor's relaxing of COVID restrictions will have little to no impact on your child's education, with many school districts still requiring masks and also classes split between virtual and in person. But is this new normal making the grade? KFDM's Angel San Juan live in studio tonight to give us a progress report. Angel?
It's been nearly a year since COVID-19 changed how Southeast Texas students learned, either remotely from home or face-to-face. In some cases, like in the Port Arthur Independent School District, both options are offered. That, though, will change in August when the district will require all students and teachers to be on campus. The superintendent saying it's the best way to learn. It's 5 classrooms inside one house in Port Arthur. No longer is the bedroom just for sleeping, nor the dining room table only for eating. Most every space in Yadi Cardenas' home is now designed for the education of her children, 6 to 19 years old.
4 in the school district, and then a college student. So I had to figure out how to spread them out because they all require a special station during the day, because they actually interacting live with the students, with the teachers through Zoom. So you have to find a place. So that was the first challenge.
But definitely not the last challenge this mother of 5 faced when the pandemic forced her and many other Port Arthur Independent School District parents to keep their children at home in front of a screen, attending school virtually.
One of the things that I've learned is that you have to, there's like something missing, that interaction, and children need that interaction, in-person interaction with the teacher.
Cardenas says this is especially true when it comes to young children, like her 6-year-old Adonai. At that age, their attention span is short.
Because they're not that kind of student that you put the little Zoom and they'll pay attention and sit there for 1 hour or 1 hour and a half or 30 minutes. You know, you have to actually sometimes sit down with them. So if you have a child like mine who requires me to sit down with him, so I have to stop everything that I'm doing in my house.
So this is where you find Cardenas most of the day.
Nice!
Making sure Adonai is focused on his lessons. Cardenas says although just starting out in school, her youngest son was improving, but then COVID hit.
The second semester, we were cut off. So it was a concern that he did not get to finish kindergarten, and then he was going on 1st grade. So I was concerned that he would fall back and lose all the progress that he had already. So I had to focus on him.
In the middle or at the end. Listen again. Shh, no.
And her focus on Adonai taught Cardenas a tough lesson.
So while I was doing that, I was not paying as much attention as to my 6th grader. And that's when he fell behind and started doing bad in classes.
Cardenas admits it's hard to make sure students stay accountable when learning remotely.
The teacher's not watching them. It's not in the same room. So they're kind of, relaxing too much.
But Cardenas doesn't regret keeping her children at home. She says at the height of the pandemic, it would not have been safe to have all PAISD students on campus.
It lifts a burden off teachers and the schools, because it would have been disastrous if we had them all in person at the same time.
Port Arthur ISD Superintendent Dr. Mark Portery wants all students to resume in-person instruction in August. He says the district's sanitation efforts and teachers getting vaccinated are making that target possible.
It is time that we return back to school in order for our children to have the best type of education. And I'm not going to speak of any other district, but remote learning is not the best tool for the Port Arthur Independent School District.
But he says the past year has taught parents a lot about teachers.
Parents understand the value of education and the value of teachers because they've had to do it for 11 months.
Cardenas appreciates them so much that this active parent wants to get even more involved in public education. She's running for the Port Arthur ISD School Board, hoping to return the district not just to normalcy, but to excellence. Cardenas says virtual learning takes so much of her family's time that she and her children plan to spend spring break not on vacation, but instead tending to household chores that have fallen by the wayside. Aaron?